We are testing out foundation and a brush. Beauty blenders, sponges, which a beauty blender is a sponge, right? Is it? Yeah, it's the same thing. Hey friends, and welcome back to my channel. On today's video, I am going to show you the beauty basics of foundation application. That's kind of a really long way to say it. If you're looking to learn the basics of applying your foundation, you're pretty new into the foundation game and you're not quite certain on types of blending techniques, types of beauty tools that you need for your foundation, then this is the video for you. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. New videos come out every single week. So let's get right into the video while I share with you these tips on achieving a flawless, cakeless makeup application. Let's get right into it. The first step to achieving a beautiful, flawless makeup application says you need to moisturize your skin. This is only going to help your skin and the foundation look as natural and seamless as possible. If you're thinking of applying on foundation without any moisturizer, your foundation's honestly not going to sit well on your skin. It's going to look really dry. It's going to look flaky. It's just crazy to know that there are people who do not absolutely moisturize their skin. If they have oily skin, they don't think that they need moisturizer. And if they have dry skin, they put some Vaseline on their skin. It doesn't work that way. Seriously, no. It's not going to look great on your skin. So you want to be sure that you moisturize your skin, and let's start it back. You want to be sure that you have a clean, prepped, moisturized skin before applying on your foundation. Yes, you heard correctly. If you have dry skin and you went straight on top of your skin with some foundation, sis, your skin's gonna look dry and crusty. The foundation is not going to save the bell for you. So it's great if you start off by cleansing your skin, exfoliating your skin, and moisturizing your skin. And let your moisturizer sit on your skin for at least 5 to 10 minutes so that it absorbs and sits and soaks into your beautiful skin, getting it all ready for foundation. The next step after you moisturize your skin is using a primer. Think of a primer as, if you're painting your walls, you do want to prime the walls first before you paint it, because the paint primer is just going to help the paint that you're applying on to go onto the walls, and it just blocks off everything. So primer is pretty much like that when it comes to beauty. A primer really helps your foundation to adhere nicely to your skin. It would be able to minimize any pores, any wrinkles, hydrate your skin. At times, I would use different types of primers. I know in my T-zone area, it's going to get a little oilier. Mattifying primer will help absorb the oils on my skin and just keep my skin looking flawless. Yeah. So I have these 3 primers. This one is from The Ordinary company. It's super affordable, like really affordable, like $6 affordable. This primer smoothens the skin surface. This primer here is by Too Faced. It's a cooling matte skin perfecting primer. I find whenever I wear this primer, it does tend to dry out my skin, so I can only wear this primer in certain parts of my face. So the T-zone area will work best for me with this primer. But if you're someone who has a oilier skin type, I would suggest you can go ahead and use more of a matting primer for your skin. The next primer that I have here is by Milk. It's the Hydro Grip Primer. This is my absolute favorite primer. Love this primer. Gives it more of like a nice moisturized, hydrated finish. Has a little bit of a sticky finish to it. I feel like this gives the foundation the right amount of control to just stay on the skin, set, and it doesn't go anywhere. So we know the benefits of applying a primer is going to help your foundation adhere beautifully, flawless, seamlessly. It's going to neutralize any pores, any wrinkles, any lines. It's going to help your foundation just say hallelujah. She found something to keep me going till like 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to start off with this. So I'm just going to apply a few little dots on my face. Now I have some beautiful pimples. Welcome these pimples to the party. This is Alicia and this is Antonia. Say hi to them, guys. They need to get a little shout out. Let's talk about foundation tools. There are so many different products out there in the market when it comes to foundation tools. There are brushes, there are sponges, there are brushes, there are sponges. I feel that's all you get out there. And then there are fingers, obviously. But with the brushes, there are different variety of brushes that you can use for your foundation. This brush here, it's the Morphe M43 brush. The bristles is like super packed on, super buff. So this brush is honestly going to like really buff in, like what I mean, it's going to buff in, it's going to buff in your foundation, like no word of a lie. It's like packed on, full buffed. So this one, it is the G7. It gives a really nice light foundation application. The next brush, it is the G36, like an in-between of these two brushes. It's not too dense and it's not too loose. This is like the G of all brushes. It's been around for so long. It's probably been around even before I was born. One of the things I don't like about this brush is that it makes you work a lot harder. When you're blending your foundation, painting back and forth, it's a lot of work, a lot of hand motions trying to cover up areas. It's a brush that I do not like to use, but it can work for many people out there. Beauty blenders. They give a great application. It's like a bounce effect. I don't like beauty blenders that much. I think it is a waste of investment. You're buying a beauty blender, which is about 20 bucks. If it's like the original beauty blender. There's only so long you can hold this beauty blender until you have to toss it out in the garbage and get another beauty blender. They could contain a lot of bacteria in them. You gotta wash them, go through the wear and tear process before you have to change your beauty blender. However, the beauty blender does give a really nice application to the skin. And the great thing about these sponges is that there are so many different companies that create similar versions of the beauty blender at a reduced price. You can get it on Amazon, you can get it at your regular beauty store. It's important to not go in with a dry beauty blender. You want to make sure that your sponge is moist and damp. Gonna squeeze up any excess water. It helps the foundation to buff in great on the skin. I will start off with the beauty blender on this part of my face first. Foundation that I'll be using is the Ordinary foundation. This is a totally different foundation out of my foundation game. Put about a few pumps. Now this is what I really don't like about it, is that when you put it on, that's like staining. You know how much work it's going to take for me to get that foundation off this sponge so I can use it again? This is the reason why. I don't know where I got the not so love for beauty blenders. Like, I think I'm more within the environmental friendly situation. I've been talking and like half of my face is like done. So this is a really nice thing about the beauty blender that I would say that I like. In terms of the application, it's like the quickest application. Definitely this is faster than my buffing brush. And it does give a really nice finish. You want to get the foundation as close to your hairline, especially if the foundation isn't as relatively close to your skin tone. Well, I hope it's close to your skin tone. And depending if you have your hair up in a bun, you can go around your ears just so that you can get a nice even out canvas on your face. And this is the amount of product that's just sitting that I would have to wash and get it all, hopefully it gets all like yellow again. The good thing with the beauty blender, honestly, it shouldn't take you no more than 5 minutes to put on a foundation. It shouldn't take you long. About a minute and a half is all you need to get your beauty blender blended on your face. This side of the face, I'm going to go in with my brush. Okay, I put a few little squirts it up. And now it definitely is putting on a lot more coverage, more of a medium to fuller coverage. Whereas the beauty blender, it was more of a lighter coverage. Tristan. It's best to bounce your foundation than to rub the foundation because you'll be taking off product off of your skin. And the whole point of foundation is to put foundation on to cover your skin, right? That's the whole point of foundation. Blending your foundation down your neck is so important. No ifs, whats, why, when, who, whatever. You really want to blend a little bit of that foundation down on your neck. What if you're taking out a picture and you got that flash happening and you're looking like Joker? You don't want to look like no joke, okay? Like this whole foundation game is not a joke, it's serious. So don't be looking like Joker. Blend the foundation down on your neck. It looks seamless. It doesn't look like all Gucci and ratchet. No, this is not what I'm teaching y'all, okay? We're moving on to concealers. Concealers are not just used to cover up blemishes, it's also used to brighten and highlight areas on your face. Oh my gosh, I have on foundation and then I'm gonna put on concealer. That's gonna clog my pores. Oh my God, no, I don't need that. Foundation, concealer, it ain't gonna like clog your pores, sis. It's just gonna create you to look like a flawless first class lady. I wanna show you how to do that. When choosing your concealers, I would suggest going with a shade lighter than your skin tone. If you go too dark with your concealer, it's then going to show up. Hey, yo, you got a pimple or something happening in your face? Why is that spot so dark? If you go with a concealer that's too light, it's just not right, sis. Too light, not right. It ain't gonna work for you. Don't do it. So with the concealer, take it and go down like that. Think of like a triangle. You want to go under and triangular. Based on your face shape, you can differ on where you're putting the placement of your concealers. The main place you would want to apply your concealer would be under your eyes. If you want a bit more of a brighter skin, you can put it under your eyes and the center of your face and a little bit down there on your chin. You don't necessarily have to go around your mouth. I am going around my mouth only because my mouth area is a little bit darker than my entire face and I do want to neutralize it. You're gonna need to press the Beauty Blender a little bit more harder onto the skin so that it blends the concealer in seamlessly on your face. So it's blended into the skin. The Beauty Blender is honestly not a bad applicator for your foundation and your concealer. It's a beginner-friendly product. Anyone can totally use this product. I'm going to be using the Morphe G34 brush. Definitely does require a little bit more work. I feel like I can get a lot more control and coverage with the brush. It really depends on your preference on which one will work best for you. Oh my gosh, the Beauty Blender is definitely given a filter, no filter look. Like it is flawless, it is seamless, it is wow. A lot more coverage on this side and this is more uniform, flawless, seamless. Now, if there was a way where I honestly would be able to keep a Beauty Blender and not have to toss it out every so often because it is an investment versus a brush, in the long term, the Beauty Blender will cost you a lot more than a brush. After you put on your concealer, it's important to go ahead and set your concealer with a powder. A powder is going to be essential to create more of a lasting finish. When you don't put on a powder, it's going to melt at some point. Imagine you touch your face. It's cream, right? So as your body warms up, it's going to smudge on your skin. Powder is going to help that from not happening. I love the Fenty Beauty powder. This powder is a game changer. It is worth it. You don't need a lot of product and it has a really good smell. Oh, every time I open this, it just takes me down to, I don't know if it's the Caribbean, but it takes me down somewhere and I love it. The Beauty Blender is still damp. I'm going to set under my eyes with it. Woo! That is a lot of product that this Beauty Blender picked up. Don't play with a Beauty Blender when it comes to putting on powder. It doesn't play, which requires you to do a lot more work in terms of bouncing the product and blending it into your skin. just back and forth with the product. Gives a really nice blended application to the skin. The good thing about the Beauty Blender is that it does have that pointed tip, which is getting very close up to your eye area, around your nose, and you can bring it down. This is beginner friendly. The Beauty Blender is definitely a beginner friendly product for anyone that is getting into the whole makeup thing. For my brush, with the brush, didn't pick up a lot of product. The look is ideally similar, however, the Beauty Blender is given more of a seamless, woo look. Have a look of that. Like, you see that here? The Beauty Blender and how it's so seamless, whereas with the powder brush, it's not as seamless. Going to just mist a bit of setting spray over my face so that it's one, going to set everything all together, and two, it's going to provide some comfort onto my skin based on the powder. A bit of blush is going to add a really nice amount of color. Pat in the product, and then you can blend it in circular motions. And this completes the whole foundation look. I threw on a bit of eyeshadow and lashes and lip gloss offline. Now, in terms of the Beauty Blender and the brush, my verdict is you can totally invest in either or, as you know, the long term and the short term of the Beauty Blender versus the brush. The Beauty Blender, honestly, it is a cheater brush. I never would have thought to say that had I not compared, but the Beauty Blender definitely did give me a nice, beautiful finish on my skin. There you can see, versus the brush. The brush also did it too, but I found with the Beauty Blender, it definitely gave a really nice finish, no filter look on the skin. It was super easy to use. It blended in the product effortlessly. And you know what? You can definitely get a cheaper version of the Beauty Blender version instead of purchasing the actual Beauty Original Blender version. Don't know if that's how to word it, but I'm sure you got a gist, a catch on, you got what I'm saying. I hope you did enjoy this video and the tips that I shared. New content comes out every single week. Give this video some thumbs up, like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, I will see you later. Bye.